Okay, what's up? What's up? I hope you guys are having a great day today. So this week's video is gonna be something a lot different. And as you see here in my video, I have a piece of paper, and I have never done this before. But before I get to that, I just want you guys to know that I have a brand new merchandise site, and guys, the reason why I haven't been doing any merchandise as of late is because I'm working on brand new merch for all of you. But this time I have a brand new merchandise site, and I will leave that in this video and down in the description in link below, so you guys can go and check out what I have been creating on Teespring. Yeah, I have Teespring, guys. I will leave my Teespring store in this video and down in the description in the link below, so you guys can go and check out what I have been doing this past week. I've been doing some merchandise for all of you on Teespring. If you are not familiar with Teespring, I will leave my information down in the description in this video. So now, hang on, I'll be drinking my milk. Okay. Guys, okay, so now let's get to this week's video. And this video is me going to talk to you about what are my favorite WrestleMania moments of all time. And I wrote my favorite moments on paper. That's why I have this right here in front of me. So I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you some of my favorite WrestleMania moments of all time in WrestleMania history. Okay, so now I'm gonna start with my first one on the top of this paper. So I'm gonna start with the top of this paper. So I'm gonna start from the top. My favorite WrestleMania moment. My favorite WrestleMania moment my favorite WrestleMania moment dates back to WrestleMania 30. Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship in a triple threat match in the main event. Daniel Bryan went on to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and Daniel Bryan defeated the Authority. That had to be my favorite moment, and that had to be one of my favorite moments of all time, because if you look back on the promo package that the WWE did for Daniel Bryan, the promo package for WrestleMania, well, if you look back at that, Daniel Bryan had a storybook career, and that promo package talked about how Daniel Bryan fought his way to the main event of WrestleMania. So that was why. That's not the reason why. The reason why that this WrestleMania 30 match with Daniel Bryan winning the WWE Championship in a triple threat match, my favorite moment from that was my favorite moment after Daniel won had to be when Daniel went over to Connor. If you don't, I know some of you may not know Connor Mahalik. I know him. I have the movie. I can rewatch it or I can. Connor Mahalik. Connor Mahalik was there watching Daniel Bryan winning the title. And this was a moment that will last a lifetime. The moment, well, I am not saying this to be judgmental, which I'm not. I'm not trying to. But my favorite moment comes from WrestleMania 30 after Daniel Bryan won the WWE Championship. Daniel went over to Conor Mahalik and told him, "Thank you for looking up to me. Thank you for inspiring me to win this. You are the reason why that I've been fighting my whole life." And for that had to be my favorite moment of all time, because Daniel Bryan, that proved to me, that for what Daniel Bryan did for that kid. For what Daniel Bryan did for that kid at WrestleMania 30, I will never forget that moment, ever. Rest in peace, Connor. Rest in peace, my bro. We all miss him. I miss him too. He was a light. He was a light. I just hate when people, pass on. I just hate it. So now, let's move on. And so this was another moment. So this was another WrestleMania moment that had to be one of my favorites of all time. And this moment dates back to WrestleMania 28. The end of an era Hell in a Cell match. Triple H faces The Undertaker with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee. That match, I will never forget it. I will never forget that moment ever. Because that WrestleMania moment made WWE so damn special. Yeah. We will never forget the end of an era match inside the Hell in a Cell with Triple H, The Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. How can I put it? The magnitude, the emotion, the outpouring emotion. Like I just said, the magnitude, the emotion, jumping off my seat and all that. That had to be my favorite WrestleMania moment of all time, when Triple H told Shawn, end it, Shawn, end it. That moment made everyone in tears. That moment when Triple H said, "Shawn, end it," that feeling in the whole building erupted. I'm not kidding. That building erupted when Triple H said that to Shawn. And now my next favorite WrestleMania match. It was a match, I know that, but it was one of my favorite moments of all time, and this dates back to WrestleMania 21. The late great Eddie Guerrero faces Rey Mysterio. And the reason why I put that as my favorite moment, because that was the last time we ever saw Eddie Guerrero alive. I have never told you this before, I met Eddie Guerrero once when I was a kid. And I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. And I am not kidding. And I'm not kidding when I know you guys are gonna say like that, oh, you didn't see Eddie Guerrero. You were never will because he passed on. Well, guys, I actually did met Eddie Guerrero once when I was a kid. My dad took me to a SmackDown taping in Abbotsford, and guess who I saw wrestle? Eddie Guerrero. Me, as a fan, I'm sorry. When Eddie Guerrero came out of the Abbotsford Center, when he came out, he pointed at me. Yeah, he pointed at me, and he did this. He was pointing at me. The legendary Eddie Guerrero pointed at me and saying, "You're my bro." And he actually said that to me. As a fan of WWE, he did this to me. With his hand right here and his hand right here, he pointed at me. That moment will always live in my heart forever. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love you, Eddie. In that moment, when Eddie Guerrero gave me one of the greatest moments of my life, I wanted to meet him. Yeah, I really desperately wanted to meet him. But years after that, a year after that, he passed away. That was the last moment I had with him. That was the last moment I ever got to see Eddie Guerrero perform. I was just a kid. My dad took me to his live event, and I saw Eddie Guerrero fight in that ring. When he came out of the curtain, he just erupted. I cannot tell you what the building did when Eddie Guerrero came out. Eddie Guerrero came out, and he just blew off the Abbotsford Center way off. So my favorite moment was WrestleMania 21, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. It was one of my favorite moments of all time because I actually got to see Eddie Guerrero perform before he passed away. And when I heard the news that he passed away, I was heartbroken. I should have started my YouTube career back then. I should have. Because I got to see Eddie Guerrero perform, and a year later, he passed away. Yeah, I finally got a chance to meet him. Not in person. Well, I actually got to meet him in person, but he didn't actually talk to me. He pointed at me, saying that I was his bro. I was his bro. I was his brother. I was his familia, like he always says. That moment will always live in my heart forever. So WrestleMania 21, Eddie Guerrero vs. Rey Mysterio, that did it for me. But Rey Mysterio won a match over Eddie Guerrero and all that. So that was one of my favorite moments. I got to see Eddie Guerrero perform when I was a kid at a live event. And a year later, he passed away. That left me really heartbroken. I got to watch the tribute show on Raw. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. So now, let's move on to my next favorite moment of WrestleMania history. And this dates back to WrestleMania 31. The big dog, Roman Reigns, squares off with the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, and then with a shocking twist, Seth Rollins cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase in the main event of WrestleMania. I would never forget that. That was shocking. That had to be the most shocking moment I've ever been a part of. Oh man, doing all this talking makes me want milk. Milk-mania runs wild in this video. Thank you, Koyenko, for that. Okay? And then let's move on to my next favorite WrestleMania moment in WrestleMania history. And this one dates back to WrestleMania. And so now, let's get to my next favorite moment of WrestleMania history. And this dates back to WrestleMania 22 in 2006. The triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship, the five pole Randy Orton faces Kurt Angle faces Rey Mysterio. The reason why I picked this match as my favorite moment was because because Rey Mysterio won the match, that moment after Rey Mysterio won and won his first title in WWE, the moment after he won, so the moment after Rey Mysterio won, Rey Mysterio had his arms like this and he was looking up into heaven. And that moment on a show after WrestleMania, Rey Mysterio came out and made an emotional tribute to Eddie Guerrero, because Eddie Guerrero's death really affected him and a lot of superstars also. It also affected me, because I got to see Eddie Guerrero perform before he passed away a year later. The moment after Rey Mysterio won, he paid tribute to his best friend Eddie Guerrero. That was why it was one of my favorite moments of all time, because Rey Mysterio loved Eddie so much. He loved him so much. Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero had a rich history. And it all went to a shocking end. We lost a legend that year. Well, not on that year, but before so Eddie Guerrero passed away in 2005. I don't know that because I've seen that show, the tribute show. I've seen it with my dad. I was watching it with my dad that year. And after Eddie Guerrero passed away, Rey Mysterio won the World Heavyweight Championship in the memory of Eddie Guerrero. That was why it was one of my favorite moments of all time, because Rey Mysterio paid tribute to his best friend, his brother, his amigo, his familia, like he always talks about. That was why it was one of my favorite moments of all time, because Rey Mysterio paid tribute to Eddie Guerrero in the most shocking, emotional way by winning the title that Eddie Guerrero won. So now, let's move on to my next favorite WrestleMania moment in WrestleMania history. So let's move on to my next favorite moment. And this one dates back to WrestleMania 24 in 2008. Shawn Michaels faces Ric Flair in Ric Flair's farewell match. Looking back at Ric Flair's career, he has done it all. So I'm not gonna do The Rock right now because I'm doing this video for you. I'm grinding hard on my videos for all of you. Let's get back to this. Ric Flair had a long run in the WWE. Yeah, a very long run. A very long run in the WWE since 1989. Well, not 1989, but Ric Flair. I don't want to disrespect the legend. I don't want to do that. I don't want to disrespect Ric Flair by saying this. He's an old wrestler. He's a very old wrestler who has been in that ring, kicking butt, taking names, and he had all great moments with different wrestlers. I'm not gonna name names because they passed on too. Yeah, I'm just gonna say one: Dusty Rhodes. That's what I'm gonna say. So Ric Flair had a long career. It was the best career that he ever had. Ric Flair has been in WWE for a long time, and for him to have his farewell match, his final match in WWE, with one of his best friends, Shawn Michaels. And I would never forget in that moment, when Shawn Michaels said, "I love you, I'm sorry." That will live in the history books for a long time. That moment when Shawn Michaels said, "I love you, I'm sorry," when he said it, it got me emotional because I never wanted Ric Flair to retire. I never wanted that to happen to Ric because all he ever wanted to do was to wrestle and give back in that ring and just do what he always loved to do, and that's perform for all of you. I love Ric Flair. I've been a fan of his since 2003. Since 2003, so seeing Ric Flair retire at WrestleMania had to be the most shocking, emotional moment that I ever encountered. So there were two moments. When Ric Flair retired, he had an emotional encounter with his daughter, Sawyer. And I love Sawyer because Sawyer is a daughter of the greatest of all time. But I'm not comparing the two because Sawyer doesn't get that. And I totally get it because all Sawyer wants to do is to put her name in history just like Ric Flair did years ago. So now, let's get back to my last two favorite moments. And this moment goes back to WrestleMania, the 25th anniversary. It was the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. John Cena faces the Big Show, faces Edge. That was also my favorite moment of all time because if you look back on YouTube and you watch the promo package, that was all laid out perfect. It was a love affair that turned wrong. I know love affairs are the worst thing that anyone can go through. and all that. So that was one of my favorite moments of all time, because at that time John Cena was the champion, and now Cena is going around making blockbuster movies. You cannot hate on that. You cannot. I'm a huge John Cena fan. If you don't like it, well, I'm not going to be mean, but love him or hate him, he has a passion for the WWE, and he will never quit. Ever. He made it clear. And now, my last favorite moment of WrestleMania and in WrestleMania history has to be day back to WrestleMania 26. It was the Streak faces Khalil. The Undertaker faces Shawn Michaels. That was also my favorite moment, because it was the outpouring of emotions. It was gut-wrenching. The ending of the match didn't turn away that Shawn wanted, because that was his final match in WWE. And look at him now. He is now on the feature of NXT. But looking back at his career, but dating back in his career, the career that he made himself, with the help of his loving wife and son, look at him now. He's a proud father, and he is proud of the rich history of NXT. And look at him now, the greatest of all time, HBK, HB Sizzle, the JBL always says. So that is all of my favorite WrestleMania moments of all time. So I will leave my Teespring store in this video and down in the description in the link below, so you guys will not miss out on any videos this week or next week, because I'm going to be posting a lot of cover songs. So get ready for a lot more videos and a lot more content coming to you this week and next week. Subscribe for more videos.